8 years after winning his first Defensive Player of the Year, Draymond is campaigning to win his second.
Like I said, I think I've put together a good case. I got another 6 or 7 games to continue to make that case, but whatever happens, I think I should win it.
But it's not all talk. This season, the Warriors' defense has been elite. Since Jimmy Butler played his first game, the Warriors have been the best defense in the NBA, with elite point-of-attack defense from Moses Moody and GP2, great passing lane and wing defense from Jimmy Butler, but the foundation of everything has always been Draymond Green. He does everything, from the wing and perimeter defense that we just mentioned, to rim protection, to switching 1 through 5 with ease, to making timely rotations and being a conductor of switches. This year, Draymond Green is the Defensive Player of the Year, and he's proved it in killer back-to-back performances against the Lakers and the Nuggets. Let's review. One of Draymond Green's gifts is to be able to guard 1 through 5, switching up and down lineups, often taking the assignment of the opponent's best offensive player. In these next few clips, pay attention to the different types of matchups that Draymond Green is able to excel in. This first clip, Draymond's going to come out and defend LeBron James, containing him as he tries to get inside and ultimately contest him at the top and force a pretty poor pass to a cutting Dorian Finney-Smith. Does a good job in this defensive possession. Let's contrast that to the next one where now Draymond's on Jokic. Jokic is a completely different type of player. 7 feet tall, different physicality, different body, different offensive tendencies, but Draymond is able to contain him all the way out to the perimeter and prevent him from getting easy inside positioning, forcing him to kick it out to Aaron Gordon. Draymond has been able to battle against extreme titans like LeBron and Jokic for the past few seasons, but let's contrast that to the speed of Russ. As Pods makes this pretty ill-advised pass that gets picked off, watch as Draymond is able to dislodge this dribble and force this turnover from Russell Westbrook. Keep in mind that Russ, although he's not as offensively gifted as LeBron and Jokic, is a completely different type of player. He's much faster, more athletic, can really get after it in transition, and Draymond Green can contain him. Now, something that Draymond is also gifted in is rim protection. For being such a small defender relative to most centers, Draymond does an extremely effective job of serving as a rim protector for the Warriors. Here, the Lakers are starting in a sideline out of bounds. It looks like Rui is going to come set this screen for Austin Reeves to fly off of. Now, the Warriors are defending this with drop coverage. Quinton Post usually plays in drop, which forces Pods to trail Austin Reeves up and around this screen, and ultimately is almost 2 steps behind him. Now, let's pay attention to what Draymond Green does. Usually, when you're defending in drop coverage and you're behind on the ball handler, it's up to your weak side help to come and take the ball handler. This is because now this pass is a bit harder than if the strong side man comes and helps, because now Austin Reeves can just make this quick pass to Vando. But nonetheless, Draymond Green is going to be the one that ends up rotating and contesting Austin Reeves at the top. You don't see strong side rotations working out that well for the Warriors that often, but when it's Draymond Green, it does. Now, in this next possession, the Nuggets are off in transition. Guy is going to be in the crowd, and Draymond Green is going to blow up this transition opportunity of Christian Braun by, again, meeting him at the top, preventing him from getting easy bucket. One of the things Draymond has been known for years is being able to blow up transition opportunities, often without fouling. And that's exactly what he does, which gives the Warriors often 2 to 4 extra points saved per game, because in a lot of these possessions, the opponent would normally just score with a numbers or speed advantage. Draymond Green is also gifted at swipe downs as Luka is running in transition with not a lot of time left in the Lakers-Warriors game. Jimmy tries to contain, but watch as Draymond comes down and swipes this ball away from Luka in the clutch. Draymond has always been extremely gifted at these swipe down blocks, You might remember from the Warriors championship run how Draymond had one of these against Jokic in that series in the Western semifinals. Draymond Green has always been gifted with his ability to contain and blow up semi-transition and transition opportunities, especially at the rim. His deterrence in these situations often works better than his actual swipes and blocks, because often opponents will just panic. But finally, I want to next move to something that Draymond was doing in the last few games, which is being a great director. Now, in this first clip, you don't see Moses Moody, but Moses Moody was originally on Nikola Jokic before the inbound. Draymond's goal here is to prevent this from happening, so he tells Moody to switch out onto Christian Braun so that he can take the matchup onto Jokic. Jokic, not wanting this matchup, is going to try and thread the ball to Christian Braun, makes a really nice pass, but because he's taken the harder assignment, now Jimmy Butler, Quinton Post can come and help, along with pretty good coverage, even though he's a step behind from Moody, to prevent an easy bucket from Christian Braun. Good flow and a good pre-switch by Draymond Green. Now in this possession, pay attention to how attentive Draymond Green is. The Lakers look like they want to come set this pin down for Luka to run up, maybe get the ball from Austin Reeves or set a screen. Look at how Draymond not only keeps pace with Luka, because he doesn't want Luka to receive the pin down and have an advantage, but as soon as Jimmy is the one who comes to fight over this screen, watch how Draymond is instantly there for the rotation and then trusts Steph to come finish and rotate onto Rui at the 3. Something to keep in mind with Draymond that's almost psychological is that Draymond himself can feel a lot better and more dependable as a rotation defender whenever he trusts his teammates more. And that usually happens whenever the Warriors have a good defense. So I'm not sure which comes first, but I think something to note is that when the Warriors are gunning on defense, Draymond will make more of these rotations, stop more attempts at the rim, because of the fact that he can trust his backside to come make the rotations and ensure that there are no easy kick-out threes. And that's exactly what Steph does for him here. Although Luka does end up getting the bucket. And this possession is a really good example of Draymond being almost prescient about the action that's about to happen and directing his team accordingly. So let's break it down into pieces. First, Draymond Green calls for Quinton Post to come take the switch to the corner shooter so that Draymond can take Dorian Finney-Smith. Now, why might he be doing this? We see at the top, it's kind of out of screen, but Austin Reeves and Pods at the top. It looks like maybe that Draymond Green is predicting some sort of high ball screen coming up to help relieve Austin Reeves. Notably, Draymond wants to be a part of this action. We all know that Quinton Post, for as good of a defender as he has turned out to be as a rookie, isn't particularly useful in some of these ball screen actions because he's forced to defend and drop, which can often free up a great shooter like Austin Reeves to come take a pull-up 3. So Draymond wants to mitigate this. So the first step is taking that switch on to Dorian Finney-Smith. But let's see what he notices next. You can see Draymond's head is turned this way. He now sees that Dorian Finney-Smith looks like he's coming to set some sort of brush screen or something for Gabe Vincent to run up and set this high ball screen for Austin Reeves. So what does Draymond do? He makes a point. He tells Jonathan Kuminga to take the switch onto Dorian Finney-Smith so that Draymond can take Kuminga's man, Gabe Vincent, and now be a part of this screening action. Of course, Pods stays, Draymond is containing, and now it's up to Draymond to guard Austin Reeves in isolation, ultimately forces a pretty poor step-back 3 as the quarter comes to a close. That possession is an exceptional example of how Draymond is able to read plays before they happen, making sure that he makes the necessary switches to avoid putting teammates like Quinton Post in actions where the Warriors would be at a disadvantage. It's this type of conductor, maestro mentality that allows Draymond to excel at the highest level of defense, even without all of the physical gifts every single night, especially as he ages. So this is pretty soon after that last play start to the second quarter. Let's watch how Draymond again conducts this possession and also trusts his help. At first, he's going to pay attention to whatever's happening in this screening action between Jackson Hayes and LeBron. You can tell immediately that Draymond Green doesn't want this isolation matchup between LeBron and Quinton Post, because he's going to point right here for Jimmy Butler to come double to not allow LeBron to get easy inside positioning and maybe shoot a jump shot or kick it out. LeBron pretty instantly recognizes this and makes a really great swing pass to Rui Hachimura. But again, let's look at Draymond Green. Where is he pointing? He's already telling Moses Moody to come help on this closeout and close out on Rui Hachimura, which allows Draymond to X out to this corner to Goodwin. Because he hard closeouts, Goodwin fakes, but then he trusts Jimmy Butler, who's now free because he doesn't have to double LeBron in this weak side, to come help and prevent an easy shot from Jordan Goodwin. A really good example of Draymond, again, being a director, conducting, and then ultimately trusting his team to make the right defensive play. Now, the voters for NBA awards are a tough crowd, filled with those that might despise Draymond for his on-court antics and recklessness, or who simply believe he shouldn't be campaigning for an award. But regardless of if Draymond, Mobley, Dyson Daniels, or someone else ultimately wins the award, it's clear that the best defender of this generation, the DPOG, if you will, has always been Draymond Green. Thanks for watching. Let us know if you agree.